Number 2, Darren Peterson, go head-to-head. This is the first time that we've seen Devonta. We saw Peterson in a couple of summer league games, and he came out and he was very, very aggressive in this one. What did you think of what you saw?
I mean, I love what I saw. He came in with a sense of urgency, he came with intensity, and he got a lot of attempts up in that first half. Got 19 points, got to the rim. He was 5 for 5 at the rim. I know he struggled other areas, 2 for 13, but he got to that free throw line and he was aggressive and letting me know he was here.
And here was the play of the night. Let's hear what he said.
Yeah, I mean, I turned the corner. The only way I was going to get a score that was dunking. I got fouled probably 2 times, so I had to go punch it.
And then on the other side, there was Darren Peterson and Bobby. They looked very prepared for Peterson.
Well, they had a 2-game scouting report last week in Salt Lake City here, and as I said, that might have been the best summer league defense I've seen since I've been coming here in Las Vegas. They locked him up all game. They made it really difficult for Darren Peterson last
Yeah, but he handled it well.
Oh, he took his time, and I knew in the second half he'd be more aggressive. He'd find his spots. He didn't force the issue, and he ended up having a really good game that second half. He was in his zone and in a pace, a really good pace. He had some foul trouble, but made some big shots.
Everybody wanted to see this. They were going crazy.
Oh, yeah, everyone was out of their seats. They're playing ones right here to end the second quarter. Oh, $1 million move. Nickel shot. Nickel shot for the try. He'll have many money shots coming.
Yeah, Devonta had 19 in the first half. Peterson had 11, and Devonta confident up here. How about Peterson at the other end?
Well, this is what I like with Darren Peterson. Transition, getting out and running here. 3-level score, and we saw this a little bit last night. That was only the only turnover for AJ last night.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Devonta just getting to the hoop all night long.
Downhill, what he does best. Gets to that rim, doesn't matter how packed the paint is. He's athletic, he's strong, and he has good patience in the air.
All right, here was Devonta after the game talking about the crowd and that energy inside this very arena.
It was fun. I mean, first of my heart and roar was like during the introductions, during the starting lineup, it was just crazy. Like I'm in Vegas, getting a lot of love. Just getting back on the court. I got bounced out the first round. Just having places like March 10th, so just getting back on the court, playing with some guys, getting some chemistry. It was fun.
It was good. I wasn't really experiencing that much in that game because I was off at the time, so just feel like myself again.
He has played some smart.
So Devonta's 27 points. Those are the most by a top overall pick in his Vegas summer league debut since Blake Griffin back in 2009.
Okay.
That's pretty cool,
Pretty
right?
good draft class right there.
Yeah.
Part of that draft class.
Listen.
Rounder, but really good draft class.
Best ever, huh?
Oh, yeah, the best ever.
Top 5.
I feel like we talked about that
there,
already.
James Harden, Drew Holiday.
That's
really,
right.
really good draft class.
There you go. I love it, Danny. Peterson, can I ask you about Peterson? Listen, it's summer league. We saw him have 2 phenomenal games. He turned it over 8 times. He did have 9 fouls, which by the way, does not foul you out in summer league.
Use them all.
You have to go to 10.
Use them all.
But if you're evaluating his performance last night,
I loved his in-between game. He had a nice little lefty floater, the ability to get to the rim. That's a really soft touch. I love this footwork. Danny and I were talking about the separation on his shot. There was a 3 in the corner there. He missed it there, but man, he looked the part. He certainly does. Utah's got a really good player, and this is a foundation to work off.
For sure. I love his maturity because he showed patience. He didn't feel like he needed to score a lot early. Took his time. Got more into it in the second half. On the other side of it, AJ, he was different. He came out guns blazing.
yeah, he was aggressive, right? Show us how he was getting downhill all night.
Right now, he's getting downhill. He got a double screen, come over screen. He would get the switch, and next you know, he sees a double team coming. I'm going downhill. I'm getting to the rim. He was 5 for 5 at the rim last night. So again, 2 for 13 other areas, but really good at the rim. Same time situation, gets a pick and roll, kind of avoids the pick, gets around, gets lefty line. See, there's 4 guys in the paint. Doesn't matter. He's athletic, has good hang time, still finishes around the rim with an up and under, reverse layup. So he was doing it in every facet. He also got, I like the Malone spot for him. People don't know what that is. It's from the elbow to the corner. There's like a post-up area where Karl Malone used to post up. Yeah. That's a good space for guys like Tracy McGrady.
Tracy McGrady, okay, the fadeaway. He's not going to have any problem getting his points in the NBA, right? How do you think this is going to go, Jeanette?
He will not have any problem. To me, he just wanted to make a statement.
Yeah.
From the opening tip, he was on one. It's not about him playing perfectly. For me, it's about him playing passionately.
There you go.
Because the opportunity he has is to turn a franchise around. He will be surrounded by talent. The talent was there on the sideline, Trae Young and Anthony Davis. But the most important thing he has to do is galvanize his squad to be able to play well. And I feel like he's got that it factor. Now let's talk about his game. The ferocity in which I saw him attack was very similar. I know I'm not trying to make big stretches, like Giannis in transition.
There you go.
People that are just playing with force. The play of the night was the dunk.
Yeah.
Because there were multiple defenders around him. He split through. It's almost like, what is it? Didn't see you?
Yeah.
Got fouled.
See.
Yeah, he didn't see you. Like, what is it, the John Cena? Like,
Yeah.
When he's playing like that, it's like those are those unguardable plays. Now, I'm excited for the future. Over 5 for 3. We don't care about it.
Yeah.
Summer League. When he adds that to his game, this man will be different.
Yeah, because, and you have Trae Young watching, right? And you have Anthony Davis watching. I mean, what must they be thinking about what this is all going to mean?
They must be thinking that we can play through AJ Devonta, that we can put the ball in his hands and we can basically spread out the offense with certainly maybe Trae Young in a corner and we can post up AD. I love, as Shannon said, the ability to get downhill at his best in getting to the rim. 5 of 6 on attempts, 1 of 8 on jumpers, right, which is still a work in progress. But I throw a lot of that out the window, certainly first come. And as we said, 1 turnover. Yeah. If you're going to have the ball in your hands and you only have 1 turnover, that's a good sign.
The turnovers by Peterson bother you?
No, because I think this is still a learning curve. I think, as we said, the defense last night, they made it extremely difficult difficult. And remember, when he's in Utah, he'll be with Keontae George in that backcourt. A lot of these guys, and I give a lot of these players credit for being here. A lot of these players are not going to be on an NBA roster when we get to October.
It's hard to grade them when they're not playing against or with other NBA guys. Against more would be more space for AJ and for Darren Peterson with those other guys.
I just love the fact they game plan for him in Summer League.
I know that is kind of wild, but one thing I take away from Darren Peterson, it's not when things are going well that you keep eyes, it's when things are going more difficult. And when things were more difficult, he didn't quit, he didn't pout, he just kept playing the game. And to me, if you're looking for a star of a franchise in Utah, you need someone that can give you points regardless of how the game is going. And it seems like, we said smooth operator. He's just going to be solid and consistent, and I feel like that's what they need at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting. Like, just watching those two and seeing the future of the NBA. Okay, now we're going to go off the court. We have this developing story. It was reported yesterday on our show that the LA Clippers, the Toronto Raptors, that trade centered on Kawhi is not going to be complete until the investigation into the Clippers and the company aspiration is over. Shams, can you kind of weigh in here on this whole situation? Just kind of help break it down because it's very complicated for our audience.
Hey, now I'm told that both the Raptors and the Clippers are confident and believe and expect that at the end of this investigation into potential salary cap circumvention to the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard, that this trade will go through. And both teams, there's a sense of urgency from them on an investigation outcome that has continued on here for 10 months. From the Players Union side, there's also a sense of urgency as well. And listen, the NBA, for its part, has made it clear that results from the law firm independently is still weeks away. And at the crux of this, the delay in a trade being completed is because the Raptors would assume the risk of any potential discipline to Kawhi Leonard. That does not mean that there will be discipline for Leonard, but if he is implicated in any way in this, you're looking at fine, suspension, you're looking at potential voiding of contract, and that would have a result to the potential trade value of Kawhi Leonard. But Hannah, throughout the month of June, multiple trades, multiple teams, Minnesota, Detroit, Miami, as well as Toronto, were exploring possibilities of a Kawhi Leonard deal, and neither of them operated with any type of restriction toward any type of deal getting through. And so now, 10 days into July, business has been halted for both sides, the Clippers and the Raptors, and three players, and Kawhi Leonard, Brandon Ingram, and Grady Dick now in limbo.
Can I just, it was a little bit confusing coming down because the way the press release read from Toronto, and I have Bobby Marks here, it sounded like the league kind of put that on hold. But in reality, Toronto knew what was up with this trade, that there were some potential implications. They knew that well before the trade was put into place, correct?
It's an open investigation. The investigation isn't closed, and just going back to my days in the Nets front office, when we go through a trade, and certainly in one of this magnitude, what you're going to do is you're going to call the league office, and if there's, whether it be a criminal or whether it be a player investigator, you're going to say, are we good? Can we proceed with this trade? They are allowed to make this trade right now. However, they would be assuming the risk as far as going out and making that trade, and that was what was delivered to the Raptors here. So we're in this holding pattern, as Sean said, as far as for this deal to go through, and it won't go through until the investigation is closed and the league has their findings.
Shams, I know this is just worst case scenario. Is there any chance that this trade could be voided?
We won't know the answer to that until this investigation is over. The disciplinary powers that the NBA and Adam Silver have, if Wachtell, the independent law firm, finds anything that implicates Kawhi Leonard as far as salary cap circumvention, we've seen the precedent from before with Joe Smith in the 1990s, where you're looking at fines, suspensions, the voiding of contracts. That's all on the table if there are levels of implication for Kawhi Leonard. But we won't know the answer to that until after the investigation is complete in a matter of weeks, and the NBA is continuing to wait.
Yeah, literally in limbo, and it's too bad because this incredible story of Kawhi going back to Toronto, this kind of fairy tale ending, it's all on hold right now. All right, Chris Finch, Arda Ayo joining us now. You said when you walked in, you were having flashbacks of your first summer league. What would you tell that young kid that walked in here and played ball now, 6 years later?
It's a long journey. It's a long journey. From my first time putting a summer league jersey on and playing here to what I know now, it's a long journey, but I'm blessed.
Okay, what did you learn then to what you know now? What's the main thing you learned?
I would say the importance of every possession. The importance of every possession. I think that's probably the main thing that I learned, because when you first come into summer league, you don't really know what to expect. You playing fast, not really scout report, and then as you may know, then you get to playoffs, those tough games. Each and every possession matters, so that's probably what I learned.
Yeah, I think being in Minnesota might have taught you that, because it had been since for maybe 4 or 5 years since you've been in the playoffs. Chicago, your rookie year, you were in the playoffs. Now this year, what's that transition like for you? Being in Chicago, being in a system or area where you're not like playing competitively for the playoffs, and now you jump into a situation, you're the starting point guard because the injuries are happening with Minnesota.
It definitely just made me adapt fast. It made me be appreciative of the opportunity, and that just comes from my winning culture. culture. You know, going to Illinois, playing in meaningful games there, and then just always having a winning mindset. So I was able to fit in, you know, with Minnesota's winning mindset because they had been to the Western Conference Finals 2 consecutive years. So I'm just want to be the piece to help win. That's my main goal here. Win. That's my.
Excuse me, I haven't done my research, Hannah, but what pick were you in the draft?
38.
38. So you're second round like me.
Pick. Yes,
So what does it mean for you
cool.
to be able to sign your contract now back with Minnesota?
Nice big contract. Congratulations.
Let your hair down. How does that feel, man, to be able to sign that contract and be in a place and be able to say, oh, this is my place for home for the next couple of years?
Yeah.
I am very honored. I am very blessed just to be wanted. Coach Finch, the whole front office, Minnesota, they showed me nothing but love here. So I'm excited. I'm ready to get to work. I'm ready to help try to win the championship and do whatever it takes to help win. That's my main goal, win.
I mean, Coach.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got
I
a
was,
coach in there.
You know what? I was going to ask Coach about, I mean, you brought up the playoffs. How about the career high 43?
Yeah.
That was unbelievable in that game. And I'm just wondering, you know, you come there in mid-season. What did Io bring to your group?
I mean, he was the perfect player at the perfect time for us. We really needed a kind of a catalyst, a shot in the arm, you know, a guy who can just go out and fit in seamlessly. I think that's one of his unheralded traits is he just fit in alongside so many different lineup combinations with or without the ball in his hands. He made us play faster. He developed a quick chemistry with the guys that were already on the roster.